Sobrang di ko pa mapaniwala. Maraming salamat sa suporta at sana patuloy yung suporta niyo sa Kamusta mga kapong Pinoy? Surprise! Excited na akong imbitahin kayong lahat na manood sa mga laban
Breaking
ko.
WTA in Meltdown. Umpires fired in Bribery Bombshell and ELA crushes Vekic again. The scandal that's shaking tennis to its core. Welcome back to Champions Tennisitics, your #1 source for the rawest, most explosive tennis news on the planet. If you thought the drama in Auckland was over, buckle up, because we are about to blow the lid off one of the biggest controversies in modern tennis history. We aren't just talking about missed shots or bad line calls today. We are talking about a seismic shift that has rocked the WTA foundation to its very core. But amidst the chaos, one star shines brighter than ever, silencing the noise with a racket in her hand and ice in her veins. Just hours ago, reports began flooding in that the Women's Tennis Association has sent absolute shockwaves through the tennis world. In a move that has left insiders stunned and fans gasping for air, the WTA has reportedly dismissed 2 umpires over their alleged involvement in a serious bribery scandal. You heard that right. This isn't a quiet suspension or a slap on the wrist. This is a full dismissal, a firing, an unprecedented nuclear option that the WTA rarely deploys. The officials in question were reportedly connected to that now infamous match between the Filipino sensation Alex Eala and China's Wang Xinyu at the ASB Classic in Auckland. This case is rapidly being described as one of the biggest scandals ever to hit professional women's tennis, raising terrifying questions about transparency, fairness, and the integrity of the sport we all love. The tension in the air is thick enough to cut with a knife. Amidst the escalating rumors and whispers in the locker rooms, reports suggest that the 2 coaches, along with Alex Eala and Wang Xinyu themselves, were summoned by tournament officials for an emergency meeting. An unprecedented decision was made, one never before seen in the history of the ASB Classic. While the details of that closed-door meeting remain shrouded in mystery and protected by layers of legal confidentiality, the fallout is already being felt across the globe. Was the match compromised? Were the questionable calls that frustrated fans and had social media in an uproar part of something darker, something orchestrated? The investigation is ongoing, but one thing is absolutely certain. The ASB Classic will never be the same, and the ripple effects of this scandal are only just beginning to spread throughout the tennis world. But if you think a massive bribery scandal swirling around her name is enough to rattle the composure of the Philippines tennis queen, think again. While the officials were scrambling, lawyers were drafting statements, and the media was working itself into a frenzy, Alex Eala was doing what she does best, dominating on the court. In a display of mental fortitude that borders on superhuman, Eala stepped onto the pristine grass courts at the Vekic Classic in Melbourne and absolutely dismantled Croatia's Vekic for the second time in just over a week. This wasn't just a win. It was a statement. It was a message to the world that no amount of off-court drama, no scandal, no investigation can shake her focus or dim her brilliance. Let's dive deep into the action because this performance deserves every bit of attention. Alex Eala has officially extended her early season momentum into a full-blown hot streak that has the tennis world sitting up and taking notice. On Wednesday, she defeated Croatia's Vekic in straight sets, 6-3, 6-4, at the prestigious Vekic Classic in Melbourne. For those keeping score at home, that is back-to-back wins over the Paris Olympics silver medalist. Just days ago, at the ASB Classic in Auckland, Eala took down Vekic in a grueling 3-set thriller that had fans on the edge of their seats. But this time she didn't need 3 sets. She didn't need a dramatic comeback. She controlled the narrative from the very first serve, dictating play with the confidence of a seasoned champion. The Vekic Classic may be an exhibition tournament offering no ranking points, but don't you dare tell that to Alex Eala. She played with the intensity and focus of a Grand Slam final. The 20-year-old prodigy carried her blistering form straight from Auckland, where she had already reached the semifinals of a WTA 250 event, a career-defining achievement. Remember, that run in Auckland was only halted by that controversial, tight 3-set match against Wang Xinyu, the very match now sitting at the center of this brewing officiating storm. But instead of letting that loss or the surrounding investigations weigh her down, instead of crumbling under the pressure of the scrutiny, Eala used it as fuel. She channeled every ounce of frustration, every question mark, every raised eyebrow into pure, focused aggression on the court. The match against Vekic at Kuyong was nothing short of a masterclass in tactical evolution. In their previous meeting in Auckland, Eala had to fight tooth and nail to overcome the Croatian's raw power and experience. At Kuyong, the roles were reversed. Eala was the aggressor. She was the one moving Vekic side to side like a chess master manipulating pieces on a board, exposing the veteran's movement deficiencies and capitalizing ruthlessly on every short ball. The first set was a blur of precision serving and punishing forehands that left Vekic scrambling, with Eala taking it 6-3 with authority. You could see the frustration mounting on Vekic's face, the disbelief in her eyes. Here she is, an Olympic silver medalist, a seasoned veteran ranked in the top echelons of the sport, being outplayed not once, but twice in 10 days by a 20-year-old who is rapidly breaking into the global elite with the hunger of a champion. The second set was a tighter affair, with both players raising their level and the rallies becoming more intense. But when it mattered most, Eala's composure was the defining difference. When the pressure ramped up at 4 games all, when lesser players might have tightened up or second-guessed themselves, it was Eala who held her nerve. She broke Vekic's serve with a series of blistering returns and closed out the match 6-4 with a forehand winner that split the court. Speaking after the match, Eala remained the picture of humility and professionalism, a stark contrast to the chaotic storm of scandals swirling around the tour. Her words were measured, thoughtful, and showed a maturity far beyond her years. "It's very difficult to get ahead of myself in this sport," she said, her voice steady and focused despite the media circus surrounding her. "Tennis is such a humbling sport. It keeps you grounded for sure. I try to take it week by week and surround myself with a great, experienced team. They help me set my goals and keep me on track." And what are those goals? World domination seems to be next on the list. Eala just broke into the top 50 at the end of last season, a historic milestone not just for her career, but for Filipino tennis as a whole. She is the first Filipino woman to achieve this ranking in the modern era, carrying the hopes and dreams of an entire nation on her shoulders. "I'm hoping to go inch by inch, and more than anything, keep the level that I'm playing at," she added with quiet determination. That level is currently sky-high, stratospheric even. Now ranked a career-high number 49 in the world, the Filipino star is looking to carry this supreme confidence. This victory at Kuyong serves as her final tune-up before the main event, the first Grand Slam of the year. The Australian Open is set to begin on January 18th, and if her exhibition form is anything to go by, Eala is not just there to participate or make up the numbers. She is there to compete at the highest level, to challenge the established order, to announce her arrival on the biggest stage. The world has watched her transition from a decorated junior champion, winning multiple Grand Slam titles at the junior level, to a legitimate WTA threat who can go toe-to-toe with the best players on the planet. These back-to-back wins over a player of Donna Vekic's caliber are the undeniable proof. Vekic isn't a pushover or a journeywoman. She's a heavy hitter, a former top 20 player, someone who knows how to navigate the big stages and handle pressure. For Eala to dissect her game so effectively twice in 10 days suggests that the Filipino star has unlocked a new tier in her game, a new level of tactical awareness and execution. But we have to circle back to the elephant in the room, the scandal that is threatening to overshadow everything. The timing of this victory is impeccable, serving as a pristine distraction from the ugly headlines emerging regarding the ASB Classic. The allegations of bribery and the dismissal of 2 umpires cast a long, dark shadow over the integrity of the matches played in Auckland. Fans are rightfully asking the tough questions. Was Eala's semifinal loss to Wang Xinyu affected by these compromised officials? If the umpires were indeed involved in a bribery scandal connected to that specific match, does it call into question the legitimacy of the result? Should the match be replayed? Should there be retroactive penalties or point adjustments? According to sources close to the investigation, The WTA's integrity unit has been working around the clock since suspicious patterns were flagged in the officiating of that match. Multiple questionable line calls, unusual overrules, and timing decisions that seemed to favor one player over another all contributed to the growing suspicion. The fact that both umpires have been dismissed rather than suspended suggests that the evidence uncovered was substantial and damning. In professional tennis, where reputation is everything and officiating standards are held to the highest level, this kind of action is essentially a career death sentence for those involved. Wang Xinyu, for her part, has been a formidable opponent throughout her career, but the mention of her name alongside these dismissed officials adds a layer of complexity to the narrative that cannot be ignored. It is critically important to note that reports state the officials were connected to the match, and while the coaches and players were summoned for questioning, the exact nature of their involvement or lack thereof is still unraveling. What we do know is that the WTA is taking 0 prisoners in this investigation. The decision to dismiss, not just suspend or fine, suggests concrete evidence and a zero-tolerance policy that should send a message throughout the tour. This is a cleanup operation, and it's happening in real time, live for all to see. The implications of this scandal extend far beyond just one match or one tournament. This strikes at the heart of what makes professional tennis believable and watchable. Fans invest their time, their money, and their emotions into following their favorite players. They buy tickets, they watch broadcasts, they engage on social media. All of that is built on the fundamental assumption that the matches are fair, that the officiating is impartial, that the results are legitimate. When that trust is broken, when even the hint of corruption enters the equation, it threatens the entire ecosystem of the sport. The WTA knows this, which is why they have moved so swiftly and decisively. For Alex Eala, the best revenge is success, and she is serving it ice cold. While the bureaucrats and investigators sift through the wreckage of the scandal, examining footage, interviewing witnesses, and building their case, she is busy perfecting her backhand down the line. She is busy analyzing match footage with her coaching team. She is busy preparing to step onto the blue hard courts of the Australian Open with the confidence of a player who knows she can beat the best in the world on any given day. The unprecedented decision made by the tournament officials regarding the scandal may have historical implications for the rules of tennis, potentially involving retroactive point adjustments, fines, or even changes to how officiating is monitored and reviewed. But for Eala, the points that matter are the ones she wins on the court, the matches she dominates, the milestones she achieves. The narrative going into the Australian Open has now shifted dramatically. It's no longer just about who will lift the trophy or which seeds will advance deep into the second week. It's about the integrity of the game and the rising stars who play it the right way, who let their rackets do the talking. Alex Eala has become the protagonist of this Australian summer, a beacon of hard work, natural talent, and unshakable mental strength in a week marred by controversy and scandal. Her fans, the millions of Filipinos who stay up late to watch her matches, and the tennis lovers around the globe who appreciate pure talent, are rallying behind her like never before. They see in her not just a champion in the making, but a hero who rises above the noise, who doesn't make excuses, who simply goes out and performs. As we look toward Melbourne Park and the main draw of the Australian Open, the question isn't just can she win or how far can she go. The question is who can stop her. With a top 50 ranking secured, a lethal all-court game that can dismantle Olympic medalists, and a mental toughness that ignores the biggest scandals in WTA history, the sky is genuinely the limit for this young superstar. The Australian Open draw will be revealed soon, and you can bet that no seeded player wants to see the name Alex Eala next to theirs in the first round. She is dangerous, she is in red-hot form, and she is hungry for more success. The broader tennis community is also watching this scandal unfold with a mixture of shock and concern. Former players have taken to social media to express their dismay at the allegations. Multiple Grand Slam champion and tennis analyst Marion Bartoli tweeted that this situation represents a crisis moment for women's tennis and that transparency in the investigation is absolutely essential. Other prominent voices in the sport have called for independent oversight of officiating at all WTA events, suggesting that the current system may have vulnerabilities that bad actors can exploit. The International Tennis Integrity Agency, which oversees anti-corruption efforts across professional tennis, has reportedly been brought into the investigation as well, signaling that this matter is being treated with the utmost seriousness. There are also questions about what happens next for the players involved in the match. Will Wang Xinyu face any sanctions if it's determined that her team had knowledge of or participated in any improper conduct? Will Alex Eala be offered any form of compensation or ranking points adjustment if it's proven that the officiating unfairly impacted the outcome? These are questions that the WTA will need to address as the investigation concludes. For Alex Eala, the path forward is clear. She cannot control the investigation, the headlines, or the speculation. What she can control is her preparation, her mindset, and her performance on the court. And if her recent results are any indication, she is more than ready to handle the pressure. In fact, she seems to thrive on it. There is a certain type of athlete who performs best when the stakes are highest, when the world is watching, when the narrative is chaotic. Eala appears to be one of those athletes. The bigger the moment, the better she plays. Her team deserves credit as well. Having a strong support system is crucial in professional tennis, especially during times of adversity. Eala's coaches, trainers, and family have kept her grounded and focused on what matters. They have shielded her from unnecessary distractions while still allowing her to be aware of the situation. That balance is difficult to strike, but it's essential for maintaining both mental health and competitive performance. The fact that Eala has been able to produce her best tennis during this period speaks volumes about the strength of her inner circle. Looking at the draw possibilities for the Australian Open, Eala could potentially face some fascinating matchups. As an unseeded player just inside the top 50, she will avoid the very top seeds in the first round, but could face a dangerous floater or a former champion looking to regain form. Every match at a Grand Slam is a battle, and the best-of-3 sets format in women's tennis means that upsets are always possible. Eala has already proven that she can beat top players on her day. If she can maintain this level of play and perhaps even elevate it slightly on the big stage, a deep run is absolutely within reach. The Australian Open has a history of breakout performances from young players. This is the tournament where stars are born, where careers are launched, where the next generation announces itself to the world. Could this be Alex Eala's moment? Could this be the tournament where she goes from rising prospect to household name? The ingredients are all there. The form is excellent. The confidence is sky high. The motivation, especially after the controversy in Auckland, is off the charts. All she needs to do is bring that same intensity, that same tactical sharpness, and that same unshakable belief to Melbourne Park. One thing that makes Eala particularly dangerous is her versatility. She is comfortable playing from the baseline in long rallies, but she also has the ability to come forward and finish points at the net. Her serve has improved dramatically over the past year, adding another weapon to her arsenal. And perhaps most importantly, she has shown the ability to problem-solve during matches, to adjust her tactics when something isn't working, to find solutions under pressure. These are the traits of a champion, the qualities that separate good players from great ones. The Filipino tennis community is absolutely electric right now. Social media is flooded with messages of support, with fans creating highlight videos, designing posters, and organizing watch parties for her Australian Open matches. This kind of grassroots enthusiasm is powerful and can provide an emotional boost to an athlete competing far from home. Eala has spoken in the past about how much it means to represent her country, to carry the Philippine flag onto the biggest stages in tennis. That sense of purpose, that feeling of playing for something bigger than yourself, can be a tremendous source of motivation. As the investigation into the bribery scandal continues, more details are likely to emerge in the coming days. The tennis media will be all over this story, digging for information, interviewing sources, and trying to piece together exactly what happened. The pressure on the WTA to provide answers will only intensify. Fans deserve to know the truth. Players deserve to know that the system is fair, and the officials who were dismissed deserve due process, even as their careers hang in the balance. This is a messy, complicated situation with no easy answers, but it's a situation that the sport must confront head-on. In the meantime, Alex Eala will do what she has always done. She will train, she will prepare, and she will compete with everything she has. The Australian Open represents an incredible opportunity for her to make history, to achieve something special, to cement her status as one of the most exciting young players in the world. The scandal will be a footnote in her career if she continues to perform at this level. The wins, the rankings, the titles, those are what will define her legacy. And right now, all of those things are pointing in the right direction. So tennis fans, keep your eyes peeled because this story is far from over. The drama off the court is heating up, with more revelations about the bribery scandal likely to break in the coming hours and days. We will be right here to bring you every update, every leak, every official statement, and every twist in this unfolding saga. But do not let the scandal overshadow the brilliance we are witnessing on the court. Do not let the negativity distract from the incredible achievement of a young athlete who is living her dream and inspiring millions in the process. Alex Eala is the real deal, and her Australian Open campaign is shaping up to be absolutely legendary. This is a developing story, and the landscape is changing by the minute. The next few days will be crucial in determining how this scandal is resolved and what the long-term implications will be for the WTA. But one thing is already clear. Through all the chaos, through all the controversy, through all the questions and accusations, one person has remained focused, composed, and absolutely dominant. That person is Alex Eala, and she is just getting started. What do you think about these explosive bribery allegations? Do you think the results of the ASB Classic should be overturned or reviewed? Should there be harsher penalties for anyone found to be involved? And how far do you think Alex Eala will go in the Australian Open? Can she make it to the second week? Can she potentially reach the quarterfinals or even further? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one, and we love hearing from you, the Champions Tennisidics community. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the explosive world of tennis, if you appreciate the no-holds-barred coverage that goes beyond the surface-level headlines, then make sure you smash that like button right now. Hit subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss a breaking story, a major update, or an exclusive analysis. We are Champions Tennisidics, and we bring you the news that others are too afraid to touch, the stories that need to be told, the truth that needs to be heard. Stay tuned, because this is only the beginning. The Australian Open is about to start, the investigation is ongoing, and the tennis world is about to get even more intense. Peace.
Kamusta mga kapong Pinoy? Surprise! Excited na akong imbitahin kayong lahat na manood sa mga laban ko sa Mubadala.
Saw her asking to see it again. A lot of this is new protocol in the U.S. Open this year.
Sorry, what's the problem?